Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters, 2013. Left alone by their father in a dense forest one fateful night, young Hansel, played by Cedric Ike, and Gretel, portrayed by Elia Sophia Badadamos, stumble upon a gingerbread house, only to fall prey to the clutches of the elderly witch residing within. Hansel is compelled to consume endless sweets while Gretel is tasked with preparing the oven for their imminent demise. However, the resourceful siblings turn the tables on the witch, outsmarting her and sending her into the very oven she intended for them. In the aftermath, Hansel, now played by Jeremy Renner, and Gretel, played by Gemma Arterton, transform into ruthless bounty hunters, dedicated to eradicating witches. Their unique immunity to witch spells and curses makes their job seemingly effortless, yet Hansel grapples with diabetes as a consequence of his past encounter, requiring a daily insulin regimen. Their exploits lead them to the German town of Augsburg, where they intervene to save Mina, played by Pila Vitala, a young woman wrongly accused of witchcraft, from Sheriff Beringer, portrayed by Peter Stormare. Mayor Engelmann, played by Rainer Bach, commissions the siblings to locate and rescue children abducted by witches. Simultaneously, Beringer hires 4 trackers for the same mission, aiming to regain the mayor's respect. However, most of the trackers meet their demise at the hands of the formidable Grand Witch Muriel, played by Famke Janssen, who sends the lone survivor back to the town tavern as a grim warning to Hansel, Gretel, and the townspeople. Hansel and Gretel, with the help of the mayor's assistant Jackson, Bjorn Sundquist, capture the tall witch, Zoe Bell, and interrogate her. They discover that the witches are preparing for the Feast of the Blood Moon, which requires sacrificing 12 children, 6 boys and 6 girls, each born on a separate month. When the siblings find out that the witches need one more girl to complete their ritual, Beringer refuses to cooperate with them in locating her. Suddenly, Muriel, the Candy Witch, and the Troll Edward, Robin Atkindowns, /Ingrid Bolsobertel, attack the town and abduct the targeted girl before springing their comrade out of jail. Gretel is knocked unconscious throughout the ordeal, but is brought to safety by a local boy named Ben Thomas Mann, who is aspiring to be a witch hunter himself. Hansel grabs a fleeing Candy Witch by her broomstick, but is lost in the forest after he falls off the broomstick. The next morning, Hansel is found by Mina, who takes him to a spring to heal his wounds. Meanwhile, Gretel enters the forest to search for her brother, but she is assaulted by Beringer and his men, who are arresting her for luring the witches to their town. Then, from out of nowhere, Edward charges at the men and mutilates them before bringing Gretel to a waterfall to mend her injuries. When asked by Gretel why he saved her, Edward tells her that trolls serve witches before he walks away. Hansel and Gretel reunite at an abandoned cabin, which they discover is not only their childhood home, but also a witch's lair. Muriel appears in front of them, telling them the truth of their past. It is revealed that Hansel and Gretel's mother was a white witch named Adriana Catherine Connell, who betrayed her kind by marrying a farmer, Thomas Scharf. On the night of the blood moon, the heart of a white witch is needed to create a potion that makes witches impervious to fire. As Adriana was too powerful for the sacrifice, Muriel targeted Gretel, who was revealed to be a white witch herself. Muriel spread a rumor across the village about Hansel and Gretel's mother. To keep the siblings away from the angry villagers, their father left them in the forest, but when he returned to their home, he was hanged by the villagers while Adriana was burned at the stake before his eyes. Following this revelation, the siblings battle Muriel before Muriel stabs Hansel and abducts Gretel for the ceremony. Hansel wakes up to the sight of Mina, who reveals herself to be a white witch. After Mina uses a spell to bless the siblings' arsenal, Hansel, Mina, and Ben head to the top of a hill to disrupt the Feast of the Blood Moon. While Mina mows down dozens of witches with a Gatling gun, Hansel squares off against Muriel's minions and frees the children, while Edward defies Muriel's orders and releases Gretel before he is thrown off the cliff by Muriel. With the ceremony ruined by the sunrise, Muriel and the surviving witches attempt to flee by broomsticks, but the witches are shredded by piano wire traps while Ben shoots Muriel off her broomstick. On her way to meet up with Hansel, Gretel finds an unconscious Edward and uses her stun gun to defibrillator him back to life. Hansel, Gretel, and Mina follow Muriel's trail to the old gingerbread house. During their confrontation, Mina is fatally stabbed by Muriel. The siblings engage in a grueling fight against Muriel inside the gingerbread house until they decapitate her with a shovel. In the end, Hansel and Gretel collect the rest of their reward for rescuing the children before embarking on their next hunt, with Ben and Edward joining them. Hansel and Gretel's mother was the great white witch Adriana, who married a farmer. She performed the protective spell against black magic on Hansel and Gretel right before their father sent them into the woods. On the night of the last blood moon, Muriel planned to use the heart of the Grand White Witch, which was Gretel, to complete her potion. As Adriana's white magic was more powerful than Muriel's black magic, Muriel decided to use Gretel's heart instead. To get rid of Adriana, she revealed to the townspeople that she was a witch. The resulting angry mob burned her alive and hanged Hansel and Gretel's father, who had left them in the forest to protect them. Although Adriana was the strongest white witch, she never used her magic against humans, even in self-defense. The siblings battle Muriel before she stabs Hansel and abducts Gretel to complete her long-due ceremony. Hansel wakes up with Mina, who reveals herself to be a white witch. She heals him again and uses a grimoire, which belonged to Adriana, to bless his arsenal of weapons. Hansel, Mina, and Ben disrupt the Blood Moon Sabbath. Mina slaughters the Dark Witches with a Gatling gun while Hansel frees the children. Edward defies Muriel and releases Gretel before she throws him off the cliff. Hansel, Ben, and Mina follow Muriel's trail to the original gingerbread house, now rotted and decayed. Muriel kills Mina before Hansel shoots her. The siblings engage her in a brutal fight that ends with them decapitating her with a shovel. They burn Muriel's body on a pyre and collect their reward for rescuing the children. In the end, they head out on their next witch hunt, now accompanied by Ben and Edward.
And I'll go